Okay, what's going on, Grand Rising? Today is Tuesday, February the 11th, 2025. What we're looking at today is going to be dollar index, indices, and the futures market. Indices and futures, I already have a position. I was kind of late because I just got back to the house here. So this is kind of what I have on the board. I have a lot better of an entry to me on CFD, but we're going to manage this thing the same way. We've got about 30 seconds before we kick this thing off. Um, and so let's just looking for a play back into that 21.8 back into that high of day, which is internal liquidity today. So let's see how these open up. See if they can continue up. See if we get a gap up or something on QQQ and SPY and trade there. QQQ gap down and SPY, so that's probably pretty dangerous for these. So we'll continue to watch here and see. Where is my window that I need? Okay, cool. So I'm just kind of watching everything here, getting a good response on ES on that 15 and 5. So even though we had that gap down, maybe that's what's going to happen here as well when we look at this asset. Um, Now I want to see this first 5 minute close go above the 21,725s, and I'll do more of a breakdown, win or lose of this trade after this. But like I said, we were just kind of getting set up a little slower today. Now we did, like I said, get that gap down. We did take that New York position a little bit lower on CFD, so we're looking really good there. So I'm actually gonna trail some risk on that, but I think we're getting ready to get a pretty nice move here. So let's see what we get here on the H1s. I'm looking at YM, I'm looking at NQ and ES, and they just look really good. So let me write this out. Yeah, so they look pretty bullish. Now for this move here, I'm gonna condense it, and just kind of start to do this because I wasn't being like super uh like anal about the entry, right? I just want to have the location, 15-minute down candle, 5 minute down candle, and I want to play that back up into at least the 70s, 80s, or at least back into this key level. This should be a key level, but let's continue to watch here because we're going to see this first 5 minute close technical, right? Just above that high. Now, when price and liquidity gets captured, you're going to see pullbacks where you could see the sell off, right? But that's what you want to anticipate. But unless you see something like that going forward, I would say past this candle right now, technical structure, right? You're good. You're getting imbalances being created on the way up, right? So those are areas where noobs are playing late and pressing the buy button late. Um, so we're just gonna watch. So we ended up still getting a pretty good location, and I could have done better, but it is what it is. Let me mark this New York Open here really quick. I don't know why it's not showing up over here. Okay, so this is New York Open. So we want to see price continue to push away from that opening price. Okay. Okay. So still just watching this, focused in here. Okay. Now we can cross this area here on that 15, right? Because we're talking about a technical on that 15 at that point. We can cross there. I'd probably go ahead and move my risk up to 21,700 here, but I want to see a solid close higher. And just want to bring this over for the reference for people that, trade NQ and ES. This is very helpful to watch the price action. Like it's pretty crazy today. I don't have the daily and all that stuff, but I can see it based off these colors. So I know, people have been selling all night and trailing their risk, down to these areas. And now what you're seeing, the only way for buys to come into the market is for people who have been shorting all night to start to cover, right? So this massive capitulation on ES, massive capitulation on NQ causes those shorts to cover, which ends up being buy orders. Okay, so let's see if we can continue to get this push. 5 minute has 1 minute left, right? So I'm really just focused and locked in on technicals and like people giving back orders to noobs in these areas where they shouldn't be buying them, right? Because they're buying what they see, they're buying expansion, right? They're not buying 15-minute dump, 5-minute mitigation, 1-minute mitigations. So let's see if we can get to the TP here. Bring the CFD one over just for a second so I can read this for the recording side too. Okay. And then for today, bring this. Just watch this. Okay. So let's continue to watch this, see if we're going to get to these areas. I really like that 21, like 715s. Oh, wrong area. Oops. Let's mark the wrong one. That's why I was marking on CFD. Sorry. So I like this 21,800. Sorry. Then I like 6,080 or 6,078 if it continues up here. Now you could lock off, like I said, this profit to here. It's up to you. Me personally, I'm going to leave mine on this area in case I decide to add into a trade like this. And then I want to show the 1 hours here. The 1 hours look really good. When you look at, they kind of manipulated their own YM as well, but just how they're engulfing here in the right areas, pushing this range where the day actually opened. Same thing with ES opening in that 6,085s. Now that previous day high is just sitting there, so it's pretty easy to see. The reason why I bought this on CFD was because of this, right? Because I was playing and I called this out to my mastermind. I know those guys have this trade, but I called it because I seen a 50% daily dump candle play. And I seen that 4 hour basically we rallied up, we pulled back. It was only must that if we fell, we fell. We were going to come into the demand, but it just looked really good how the higher time frame was forming that mitigation as well. Okay, so now I have a top end of an imbalance. So I could, if I wanted to, secure about 70 points here, right? 700s up to that 70. But for right now, I'm going to let this trade continue. And I'm going to, if anything, just trail the risk right here to secure it to right there. Okay. So that's what I want to do, right? In case anything flashes, Trump tweets, anything. You know what I mean? It could be anything. So we're looking really good on these. I have some swing trades as well on CFD. So I'm going to go ahead and partial some of my daily positions there. We're up 100 plus points on $4 a move. Cannot beat that. Really can't. And so Trade Locker is definitely official. Definitely official, guys. Okay. Still watching this price closely. Um, and then managing the CFD position on my phone now. My computer's being kind of weird. Still seeing good price here on on QQQ and SPY. Right. Want to see how this candle is actually going to close this 15-minute candle here. We're starting to get weak, right? So that 5-minute top end of the imbalance could be a great area. And I'm managing some of that over here on the CFD. Okay, so I just trailed some of that on that CFD, and I'm watching it here. So now it's easier with Trade Locker to actually manage my CFD on my phone very quickly, and then be able to still pretty much keep my eyes on that top end imbalance. All right, because I really want to see if this 15 technical wise can close higher than that, and then that's when I really want to secure it. You could secure it if you guys want to, um, but I'm just saying like that's pretty much what I'm looking for right now. So we'll watch how this candle closes. Okay. So we do have that news at 9, about 20 minutes. So I'm gonna let this thing continue to kind of pump, continue to focus on this 5 minute area right here. And put this right here, this top end area here. All right, because on my swing positions, I've either trailed my risk or to this area on half the position or partial because I'm running two different ones over there. And then this position, that's where essentially, I could move the risk if it, in case it falls fast, but right now I'm not really in a rush right here. But if you guys want to secure the day, for futures, you can move it to right here. We are in that 80 level. So what I'm basically trying to see personally is are they going to close lower than that candle? Like they could pull it back one time, but are they going to close lower, right? ES still showing a little bit of strength here on that 15 and 5, like as if it wants to hit 6,080. So we're starting to kind of get weak here. So I just want to give it a little bit of room here, right? Because I want to see how that candle is going to close, right? This 5 minute. I don't want to get manipulated out of giving my order back above daily open would be great. Okay. That's really like an area I would prefer today if the market presents that. So I'm looking at like areas like 21,850, but we may not make it there because we'll see. 21,850, and then you've got daily open here, 21,832. So if we can give this price back anywhere above here, that would be really good. But we are starting to break down that five. So I really want to see something here out of that five where, you still have to consider 21,750s as an area for people to come in. And then continue to look at this ES price, right? Excuse me. And I'm seeing, more prices still reaching the 6,081. That HOD is in a really weird spot. All right, so let me kind of make it better. It's distorted, sorry. And it's not showing signs of weakness yet. So I want to, I like to focus on like the concepts of trading or buy low, sell high, right? So if I buy low and the daily open is way up here, I want to sell above that daily open or AKA give back that position above daily open. Okay. Okay. Really still just watching the price here. Um, Watching the 1 hours here on my far left, just kind of see what looking for that wickage to continue. We're not really seeing any 5 minute weakness at the 780 level. So it's just like I feel like they could at least push some of that 1 hour range, but we'll see. Okay, ES kind of showing some 5 minute weakness in that 6,074s, but not like crazy amounts yet on the 5 minute. Still just kind of doing the similar thing we're doing here. Let me take a look over here at this really quick. Okay, and we're still seeing people buy up to QQQs and SPYs, so that gap down was really, really good to go with this buy today. I was kind of nervous. I was thinking maybe we were a little bit mispositioned, but Here we go. So it looks pretty good to continue up. I'm glad we're managing this on the 15 and 5. Everybody says you need to be on the 1 minute, huh? But that's not really the case. I mean, not every day. You don't have to, right? Because all my trailing risk on the CFD guys, yeah, it's up to the top end of the imbalance at this point on the 5. So we're just waiting to see if we're going to be able to give this order back above daily. Now, this is how I use my fibs. You have your sell side liquidity here from there to here, right? And so now that we're above the 50, everything is fair game. It could fall. There's going to be a lot of opinions that come in. A lot that could be, people taking profit on these buys, whatever, right? So as we push into maybe this, I like to give my moves back also at a 71% retracement. So that 71 being in alignment with the daily open today is perfect. And like I said, yeah, we're holding longs from the weekly open that we took on CFD. So we have the weekly open, then we have today, which I partialed some of my position and trailed the rest of the risk. Okay. So they've given me one candle, two candles, right? We will see how this one continues. Now I'm using this to watch in my for my mind, but a lot of my risk on those swing trades, like I said, outside of the partial, I have like a little bit lower of an entry. Is I've trailed some risk up to this area here, like I always do. So if we don't get we've got a good 15-minute candle. If we don't get another candle here soon, I'll probably go ahead and trail the risk up for this position because I don't need as much today on this. Let's see here. Just trying to be patient because we have news at 9. So I know that, we've got a lot. I think that we could rip out possibly those 21,850s. You are starting to see a little bit of weakness on ES um, and those 74s on that 5 minutes. So just got to be understanding of that. Okay. We lock in here. And so watching this price, like I said, right here, ES starting to kind of get weak. So for the futures position, I'm going to go ahead and trail it just in case. To this 5 minute top end because, like I said, if it comes back here, fine, I'll manage my CFDs, which I have really, really good locations on. But I want to secure, from 706 is my entry here, right? Or 704, one of the two. I'm basically securing about, what is that? Almost 60 points, right? So if we can get this burst through, then I'll really start to track that one off. Okay, just watching the price here. Okay. Okay, so watching this price, not really seeing any strength, right? And so that's why I covered some of that position. The market just gave out, almost 82 points. So pretty good, you know. So for futures, let's see what they're going to do here. That 5 minute candle is not the candle I like to see printed. Same one was printed on ES. So, if they can continue higher right here at all, great. If they don't, then I think the top end of the imbalance will come, it might come for it. CFD, we already partialed some and went risk off on the position from today's intraday trade. So if you have somewhere like I have a little bit lower, like right in here, if you have that, you could either be risk off or have your risk under this low of this candle here, the 820, 825 candle. Um, it's really up to you, right? Or you could trail, if you have two positions, like let's say you have two dot city or four dots or however you're doing it, you could move some of that risk up and break even and then walk away. All right, and see if you're able to give this order back above daily. This one's being pretty difficult right there and starting to break down. So you might be seeing buyers taking profit here. ES starting to give some 5 minute strength though. So let's see. And that 15 looks like it wants to break out on ES. So okay, just making sure I'm protecting the CFD completely from what I partialed out of. So and this is a pretty good day, I would say, for what we found, how we managed the risk, I believe, here on this 5 minute. So for some of you guys that are following me. And then as well as, getting that buy right below New York Open because I was managing like multiple accounts and I had a little difficulty with that the other day, but I just needed to slow down. And I'd say the help of Trade Locker, being able to do it on my phone is a lot easier. Oh, cool. We just hit our area. Sweet. So good thing we trailed our risk, right? Okay. So now that it's starting to pump out of that area, you could also secure some more of the 15 minute top end of the imbalance if you wanted. I like to see if this 5 minute like area of demand, even though it's in the highs, is going to hold up and they won't break it. But they did reach the level that we wanted. So uh, we will go ahead and secure a little bit more here in a second. I want to watch this 5 minute close here. I don't want to get too antsy. We do have news coming up. Okay. So as we get closer, I'll see if that news can be almost like a spark, right, to continue us up. Looks really good. Let me look at the 1 hours. That 1 hour play we talked about, and then just for the video purposes here, um, was the slant. I don't have it all marked up here today, but this liquidity on ES is terrible, right, for overnight. Sorry, my computer was wilding, guys. So let me go ahead and continue to watch this really quick on here because I want to make sure I get this recording out today because this was a pretty good one, even though we kind of started a little late. But so with that price being like that, guys, honestly, I don't want to see it much farther down than that level. So I'm going to continue to leave it there for right now. But that news could be the reason why we shoot back down. So I'm actually going to go ahead and secure a little bit more here. right? That low of this candle right here. Because if it goes lower than now, my futures position today, I'm good. You know, I'm managing a pretty hefty CFD position right now. So, and I could have probably secured when it hit that 21.8, but I was looking at 3,000 things. So we'll see what happens, but still very grateful. So cool. So that's going to be it for the into the futures day, right? It was just a quick, 15, 5 minute mitigation play to the upside. There'll be things that we could have looked at to maybe do a little bit better. I didn't mark this as key level for some reason, but this was my key level, right? To see a majority of the price. Now, one thing I want you guys to notice, right, for those swing positions is, does this 5 minute top end of imbalance ever get tested, right? Especially on futures, because, that price is going to be a lot more cleaner and a lot, to the tick, right? So let's see if that price ends up, ever coming back to this area, which I don't think it will, and that's why I'm pretty confident on those swing positions that we're locked in pretty good. Now, like I said, I would have wished to just leave it there today and just waited for this right above daily open, but I'm grateful. It is what it is. I had things I executed on and was able to secure the bag. So appreciate you guys watching this. DM me if you have any questions. Like I said, we're going to be trading live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I was traveling this Monday. Was still able to secure profit from my phone, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, so super grateful. Hope this helps out, and see you guys on the next one.